You know, for example, Asia is changing incredibly quickly. So we as photographers work in contrasts, and sometimes those contrasts are historic and charting the course of change. So this again goes back to the research. A lot of the research is simply reading up on a culture and following it. So, for example, with Borneo, if you go to Borneo and you just kind of parachute there and you see a concrete house with an indigenous peoples living in it, you just see that house. But you don't see perhaps the irony of a people whose entire culture is based on wood in the forest, who cannot afford wood anymore. They have to build in concrete because it's the only affordable material. This also has to do with time being spent in 19 years in Asia. Borneo is particularly fresh. Another example would be I visited a longhouse, which are these communities of in one longhouse. The indigenous people live, and they're known as headhunters. And they had a chandelier of severed heads, skulls hanging. It's now become a tourist attraction. That's okay, because I wanted to show this passage of time in the time that I've been spending there. I went into the longhouse, no one was friendly to me. Something's wrong, these were really friendly people. I found out later that the head man was taking all of the money that outside people were bringing in and keeping it to himself. That chandelier of skulls was wrapped in plastic because the people who own that, it's a community, but the people who actually own those skulls said, if the headman's not giving us money, we're going to wrap them in plastic, and if anyone wants to see them, they're going to have to pay us. So here's our outside influence deteriorating a community in my own time here. So these are not, this isn't heavy news, but observations like this over time can really make your story richer. And it could turn up in Libya or Syria or Yemen. It doesn't matter. You might see similar things that will really make your story rich.